For my interpretive feast, the food that I picked is blue crabs steamed with the special seasoning, prepared like only it is prepared in Baltimore, Maryland. So what I'm doing is having a dozen crabs shipped in for our class. So we grew up eating crabs from a very young age, and I feel like it shaped who I am, and it gave me a sense of place. Knowing that I can eat a blue crab, and I know how to open it and eat it. That gives me a sense of pride. I'll be honest about it. How many crabs do you think you eat in a sitting? Blue crabs.
Blue crab, I could eat all 12 very easily.
Yes, you could. I've seen it.
I'm guessing maybe 8. 8 to 10.
Yeah.
Usually, because usually we get like 2 dozen or so, and me and Dad, we usually lose Mom first. She
She's
eats
good after
1
2.
or 2, and then you eat maybe 4 or 5, and then Dad goes. He eats probably about 7 or 8, and I eat anywhere between whatever's left.
Yeah. If you're doing it right, your eyes are watering.
I've gotten
your
chapped
nose is
lips.
running. Your lips are chapped. Your hands are bleeding.
Totally.
Give me another one.
Yep.
Give me my beer.
Yep. It's
I'm eating
hardcore.
crabs.
Yep.
It is. If you're clean, you're not doing it right.
Not so much.
Yeah.
You get hurt a lot.
If you have any sort of open
wounds don't do well with
it's
crab.
It's gonna sting.
And you will get some open wounds.
Yes, because you're dealing with
you get cut.
A crustacean.
Yes.
Known for its exoskeleton.
Yes.
I like crabs.
Crabs.
Baltimore crabs.
Love me some crab.
Hello, and welcome to Harper's Crabs, your Maryland Crab Connection. For internet orders or shipping-related questions, press 1. Or to pick up crabs at our retail locations, press 2.
Please hold while we connect your call to
Internet Customer Support.
Wishing you were able to get freshly steamed and seasoned Maryland blue crabs where you live? Your wish has been granted. Simply go to www.ilovecrab.com to place your order and leave the rest to us. You pick the date and the crabs will arrive on your doorstep. Have your succulent Maryland crab dinner delivered for your next meal.
I was wondering where you get your crabs?
We actually get them from Maryland. We also get them from North and South Carolina and Louisiana. The Chesapeake has a certain year to crab. It ends in, November 22nd, I believe, is the last day of the crabbing season. And then it starts back up in April. So it's between April and November, and then after that we'll get them from, the Carolinas and Louisiana. They don't have a season, down south. It's all year round, but Maryland's it's seasonal.
What's the process when you're capturing them?
There's numerous ways, like crab pots. Basically like the crab pots you see on Delia's Catch, but smaller versions. And then you can dredge for them, which is actually, it hooks up to the back of the boat and it actually pulls them out from underneath the sand.
Do you do a lot of the dredging?
No, dredging, it used to be big years ago, but it's not anymore. A lot of people don't like dredging. It ruins just their equipment and everything else. So most of it's either crab pots, or they do what's called a trot line, which is basically a line and they use chicken necks, and they just pull it. It pulls in real slow, and then they scoop them with the net once they get by the boat.
How old are they when you get them?
They usually mature within the first 3 years. An old crab is considered to be 8 years old. So yeah, we get all the crabs in live. And then, like I said, they'll live out of water. As long as you keep them in like a cooler, they can live up to 6 days. It's kind of like the average. And then we get all our crabs in live. We do suffer dead losses, if we're not selling any. But yeah, once they're dead, they have to be thrown out. It's something you have to cook live. After you cook them, you have 5 days until you have to throw them out. Yep, we steam them. Yep, we put them in pots and then we steam them.
Yeah.
Takes 15 to 20 minutes to steam.
Hello?
Hi, Mom. It's your daughters.
Hi.
Hi.
Like, how did you get involved in crabs?
We moved to Baltimore
and we went out to dinner, and we had crab. And I was pregnant with Sarah, and I was so upset and angry because I was so hungry, and I didn't realize all the work here. I was being polite because I didn't want to make a commotion in front of my father-in-law and mother-in-law, and I just sat there and I ate that, and I was so hungry and I was angry, but it was because I was starving. That's what I remember from crab. I was pregnant with Sarah and I was so hungry I could have eaten the table.
When was the first time you had crabs?
When I graduated from the police academy.
Really?
Yep. So the first time I had it was we had a graduation party when I was graduating from the police academy in 1975. Yeah, I thought the spices were so good that I was like taking them off the crab and just eating the spices. And I went home and got sick.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I'd do it.
If you think there's culture involved, like in...
No, it's not a culture. I would not say it's a cultural thing. It's more of a regional thing and a social thing. Steamed crabs are very regional, because so many people in America have never heard of it.
Right.
I mean, I grew up only about 200 miles from Maryland, and I had never heard of steamed crabs or even tasted them until I was 25 years old. So, I mean, that gives you some idea of how regional it is.
Right. Do you think it's a cultural thing, cultural specific?
No, it's something like smoking. It's a desire. You've got to have the seasonings in your system. I had boiled crabs when I was a kid in New Jersey. We used to catch them, and we would boil them, but they weren't cooked the same way.
What's
They
different?
were the same kind of crabs, but they were cooked differently. They were just boiled and eaten with melted butter. They weren't steamed and put all the spices and all that stuff. But you've got to specify they're Chesapeake Bay crabs because crabs are made all over the country, but they don't do them like Chesapeake Bay. Most of the states that prepare crabs boil them. Maryland steams them and they put the exact seasonings on them.
What's your first memory of us eating crabs?
Sarah was 3 and you were 2. Because I remember, no, sorry, you were probably 1.
I would have to be.
Yeah, because I remember us taking the meat out of the crab and giving you
I
the
was
meat.
1?
But when you were maybe a little older, maybe she was 3 and a half and you were 1 and a half or something,
Wow.
we had a shack house up the block from us. And we used to go there.
Oh, like a crab restaurant? What's a shack house?
I'm sorry.
What's a shack house?
The shack house is a crab house.
Oh. Because it feels to me, I mean, I guess it is. I was going to say it feels pretty embedded, but if I was eating it when I was 1, I guess it's pretty embedded.
No, you were. You girls were very young. And I remember going to a crab shack and Daddy was pulling out for one and I was pulling out for the other. And we were feeding you and we were eating in between and we were trying to teach you how to open the shell. That part I remember.
Yeah, cute.
Or I would get like a dozen crabs because I also had carry out and I'd bring them home and we'd eat them in the backyard.
Yeah.
Yum.
And then when you started eating it, you were allergic to it because you would suck on the claws and it affected your face.
But I was allergic to it at first?
Yes, yes.
I vaguely remember that. That's why I would wash it off. Yeah.
It's all about good time because the crabs come out and they're on a tray and they're all piled up and you dump them on the table and you hit them with mallets and you make a mess out of yourself. And, you can't not have a good time and eat crabs. The more people that you have